Welcome back to another episode of the Why Not Podcast. I'm your host, Senior Airman Padilla. Today we're talking about, I think, one of the most mysterious jobs on base. Thank you so much for crawling out of your hole to be with us today. Let's go around and introduce ourselves. Rank, name, and squadron. And while you're at it, tell us your hometown and how long you've been in Why Not.
Yeah, I'm First Lieutenant Reed Walker. I'm in the 741st Missile Squadron with these guys, and I did a little bit of living in Texas and North Carolina, so I kind of claim both.
Nice.
But I've been in Minot for just over a year now.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us.
Thanks.
I'm Lieutenant Olivia Cashin. I have been here a little over 3 years now, and my hometown is in Central Florida, Hudson, Florida, but I have a lot of family in North Dakota. It's why I chose to come up here. And some of the smaller area, like Bismarck, a lot of them are from Bismarck, but some of them are for like Wilton, like really small towns. So Minot was a happy choice for me.
Real quick, I just want to address that that happened this morning. This overhead light went out. It just knows that we got some missileers in here.
Yeah,
There's too much
that's
light.
not get success.
Yeah, I'm gonna burn your retinas with all these lights. Go ahead, sir.
Captain Cooper Smith. I'm from DeWitt, Nebraska, home of the Vice Grip. Shout out the boys back home. Interesting thing about the Vice Grip is actually, so it's an adjustable wrench, right? And it's actually used out in the capsules up here in North Dakota, which is really cool. Yeah, small town, grew up, 500 people, so North Dakota was nothing crazy.
Wow. So this is like
It's home. Yeah.
Manhattan compared.
Yeah, seriously. And I've been up here in Minot for 4 years,
Nice.
just about 4 years. So
Awesome. Hey, well, you guys, I've sat in on some of your training exercises in the trainer, and I think that like being a missileer is the training that I would fail out of the absolute quickest out of anything else. Like, I think I'd be like better off like learning how to fly a jet than doing what you guys do. I always wonder like how quickly I'd fail out. Would it be like immediately, or maybe I would like make it towards the end? How long's your training?
Ours was 6 months in Vandenberg.
Okay.
Yeah.
yeah, mine was the same as yours.
Mine was a little bit longer. Obviously, Air Force, things shuffle around, things change depending on the year. Mine was probably closer to 8 months, which was awesome because we get a little bit more breathing room compared to these guys.
Yeah,
They're pretty fast track on their side of things, but we got a little bit more, probably a little bit more opportunity to get one-on-one training. I would fill in the little.
Why is that?
I don't know. Maybe like y'all would know why you had 6 months. I think in the broad scheme of things, they're trying to figure out the opportunistic way to dial in our training to get missileers out to Minot and the other bases as quick as possible, but with a high level of training,
Right.
with a lot of hours in our trainers. So that's take all of that,
Yeah,
into
small.
a course, and that's what they're doing.
Okay. Was there any point in that course for any of you guys where you're like, I don't really know about this? Did you ever have any self-doubts going through that?
I mean, I would say that our training wasn't like the hardest thing in the world, but you maybe see as like kind of intimidating when you're watching us like do our thing or like going into the MPTs. It's really just a product of like muscle memory and memorization over time, because like we do a ton of training. I'm sure that's the same for a lot of other career fields in the Air Force, but like our expectation is that we know it like the back of our hand. And by the time we get out of Vandenberg, some of these procedures you're watching us do, like we have done hundreds of times. So it may look like we like know our stuff like crazy, but our heads are in the checklist like anybody else. It's just about knowing where the checklists are. So I didn't like day one is so overwhelming because they give you so much information at first, but just living in it for a little while, it's really not intimidating. And like, we are not particularly smart people, I would argue.
The only thing I would add on to that is, you know, you're just like tech school everywhere. Your first day of training, you're not just jumping right into it. You definitely get baby steps, and there's a lot of like classroom instruction before you even get into one of our MPT rides or like trainers. So yeah, you don't just get thrown into the fire.
Right.
It feels more. I feel like it feels more like you get thrown in the fire when you actually get here from tech school.
Yeah.
Because you have a certain expectation, and everyone who comes from there has a certain expectation, like level that they're expected to, and maybe some people do or don't.
Right. Yeah, you come here with a bit of a foundation,
Yeah,
and I'm sure they expect for you to kind of rely a little bit on that foundation. But going into tech school, there's no prior knowledge.
Yeah, and at the same time, though, if you were just coming from tech school, everyone knows that. So like, we have a lot of people here and in the squadrons and all the squadrons that are very experienced, and you're not just gonna take a new person and make them do small things without some help, some guidance. So that's another thing that helps out.
It's awesome. I'm sure for something like that, the structure in which these instructors I would imagine that the way they organize these instructors and select instructors is very thoughtful. I doubt they let anyone be an instructor. I personally feel like I wouldn't be able to be an instructor for PA just because I'm too impatient and angry. All right. House of Dynamite, greatest movie ever? Or no?
I personally haven't seen it.
Really? You got like watch it together.
I've heard a lot of bad things about that, and I don't want to be disappointed. It is kind of funny. We do have one guy in our squadron that loves it, and basically everybody else hates it, and we like flame.
Me personally,
I watched it with some family over. I think it was maybe Christmas or something, and I fall asleep in movies, and so I say I've watched it, but I'm like, I'm the guy. I watched it.
Yeah,
No.
Small Falls.
No, I was knocked out.
It's like my dad. And then my dad would have the audacity to be like, here's what I thought about that movie. I was like, that was just you dreaming. That was the movie. We didn't see that movie.
I watched it. The first time I watched it was actually out in the capsule. So that makes you feel really
Oh, you were in the
cool.
capsule
I
watching it?
was.
Nice.
Yeah, that's where I watched it. And I was just like, wow, this is making me feel patriotic American out here.
It kind of, I hate to admit it, but it kind of did
Yeah.
me as well too.
Yeah.
Because I don't ever, I'm PA. And
Right.
most war movies depict combat.
Sure.
And I can't relate to that at all. So most war movies, I can't say I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm one. Obviously, I can't relate to that at all. But it was about our MatchCom. Like,
Yeah, I mean, that's why I was excited about
it
it.
was about our MatchCom, and it was directly like, all this training that we do, even for PA, and all of these operations around base, prepare for that every day. Like, there is not a week where there's one unit around base not preparing for that situation. So yeah, it was in that sense just kind of like motivating for like, this is kind of the worst case scenario that we hope never happens, that we do train for every day.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I think, like you said, there's a lot of people that didn't like the movie at all who were Missileers.
I'm sure it can get ripped apart in terms of
Yeah, oh yeah, you
It
can.
can only be so accurate. though. We're not
Exactly.
bullied by Missileers or anybody.
Exactly.
I mean, have any of you seen Olympus? Is it Olympus Has Fallen? Something like that. Morgan Freeman there. It's not very missile related, but there's a point where like the adversaries like get access to our stuff, and they like try to make the missiles self-destruct in the holes, which is like not a thing that can happen. But like me and my crew partner watched that and we're giggling. So I'm like,
Yeah.
nice.
So you can definitely rip it apart.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
there's also parts of it that you're like, oh, okay. Yeah.
It was just a
Interesting.
fun hoorah
Yeah.
time, and anyone being like, "Oh, it wasn't realistic." Like, no war movie is realistic.
Yeah, that's
like,
fair.
there's a few. Tropic Thunder, one of them. I'm just kidding.
One of my favorites.
Yeah. All right. The real question is, why do you guys keep commissioning or cross training the PA? There's like 4 you guys
They're
here
big
right
crowd.
now in Minot, right? That are cross training the PA.
I think that is right.
Lieutenant Salcedo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I know that there's at least 3. Lieutenant Salcedo. I met.
Robinson.
Robinson.
Yep. And then there was another one that I believe left recently
Hmm.
to Dinfos over our that's our tech school over in Maryland.
I don't think it was out of our school.
Not enough bit.
Just the
At
two
least,
from our
at least
squad.
those 2 are for sure that I know. But
Yeah. I don't know why I asked that. I thought it was.
Yeah.
I just thought it was cool that
It's the extreme opposite of
it's the extreme
Yeah.
opposite.
The hobbits that live in the hole
Yeah.
as Missileers versus
Versus,
PA
like, the
having to get out
camera,
here.
the first
Lights and
person
action.
on camera.
Yeah.
I mean, look, Got to be smart for both of these jobs. Enlisted side, believe it or not. You mentioned it was 6 months tech school for you guys. That's how long our tech school is.
Yeah.
Which is so funny to me. I think they axed it down a little bit. It's like closer to 5. It might be under 5. It's like 4. It's like 4 and change. But yeah, it's something that like.
And where's that at in Maryland? You said
It's in Maryland, Fort Meade.
cool.
Yeah,
Is it all services or?
it's a joint training.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, so you got to deal with those Marines and everything.
Yeah, how was that experience?
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun.
Cool.
I mean, I had a time of my life in tech school. But,
Nice.
hey, well, I can go on and on about why you chose this job and everything. I don't want to get too much. I want to know what your life is like down there, and if it takes any toll on your psyche. But before we get in there, I do just want to know a little more from each of you guys about why you chose this job. Did you choose this job? Did the job choose you? How did you feel when you got this job? What exactly about being a missileer attracted you guys?
Yeah, so I graduated out of the Air Force Academy. But so one of the programs we have there, it's called Ops Air Force. For us, that's like a field trip to the real Air Force. I went to Barksdale, and throughout that whole experience, everyone was giving you like only the good, it seemed, right? And comparing their careers to other careers, which for logical reasons, it's like, well, I really don't know what this actually equals for my life. Ran into a missileer, and I was like, hey, what's this thing you got? What is that? What's going on? And he was like, hey, all right, we're gonna meet together. Get a group of your friends. We'll meet in this cafe on the flight line. I'll tell you everything you need to know about the job.
Mm.
And so back up, probably 3 months before that, one of the technical sergeant in charge of a squadron out there, an academy military trainer, he was an FM, which you just recently had on your podcast, I think.
Mm-hmm.
He was an FM, and he was like, hey man, like you should look at this missileer gig. Just look into it.
So
I
it was
never
the
did.
FM that gotcha.
So an FM, through the line out.
Mm.
Missileer was kind of the bait, so I went and met with him, and he just gave it to me straight. Told me, here's all the great things. Here are some of the bad things. Do with that information as you will. Wound up being my number one choice coming out of the academy. So it's a guaranteed pick. And I've been loving it ever since.
Nice.
Yeah. Sorry, long story there,
No,
but I wanted to shout out to the FMs because they are awesome.
Mhm.
And the way their ears are tuned to such a, the people group, like they're so people oriented at the math, but their strategic mindset is also there. And so we're able to have really in-depth discussions about these things. But anyway, I'll move on.
No, yeah, they're key to those Mavs. That math episode that you listened to that we did with the FM security forces and services,
Yeah.
Jeff. Originally, instead of the FM slot, I wanted one of you guys, and I reached out to the first sergeant of I think it was a 791. Asked him to help me hook up with a missileer. And he's like, really what you want is like you want an FM, like you're missing the FM.
Yeah.
So that kind of inspired like, all right, we'll ditch the missileer, get the FM in here, and then we'll do missileer like only podcast.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. How about you, man?
My story is not nearly as cool as Lieutenant Walker.
Oh, I'm not, no.
I was blessed with the opportunity to get missiles despite not putting it on my list. Funny enough, I had PA as my number one at the time. But at the end of the day, I am incredibly grateful for missiles. It really was the best case scenario for me and my career path in the future. Missiles isn't going to be my forever home, but I am super happy that it gave me so much time to work on my master's, to work on my future career plans. And I was very pleasantly surprised by what the career was like, because at my ROTC detachment, there was such like a stigma and like a joke about missileers and what that was like that I think that's why so many people weren't putting it down. My det commander at the time, though, Lieutenant Colonel Cummings, I believe he's retired now, but he was a missileer before, and he told me all about it when I got it, and I was happy to come on. And it was funny to find that Minot was going to be one of my options as well, and to be around family finally. So it was really perfect for me.
What was that stigma? You said that there is a little bit of a stigma in the detachment about Missileers. Is that you guys are like super cool?
Yeah, absolutely. Too cool. The stigma that I had heard, and it probably was true at certain points, and it, like, to some level can be true at times, but that the Manning was always super miserable, that people were overworked, that there was little career opportunities, that it's super antisocial, stuck in a whole miserable experience. And like, it's not always the easiest thing in the world, but I think it's a much more fun time, and it's as fun as you make it too at the end of the day. And people can get a little sassy about my Knott's weather, but I I'm not mad about it.
Yeah.
But I'm not the person in my family that shovels the snow. So
Okay. I mean, I'm a little mad about it, but sir.
I also graduated from the United States Air Force Academy.
But
I had missiles actually as like number 4 on my list, and if you put it on your list, it's pretty much number 1 at
Yeah.
that point. So I kind of knew that I was gonna get it as well. But it's interesting you're talking about like the stigma and stuff, because I don't know if it was still like that when you were there, but like when I was going through, missiles had such a bad stigma. Like everyone always thought, oh, if there was classes above me that would get their jobs, for example, they'd get missiles, and everyone would be like, "Oh, are you okay? Like, are you gonna be all right?"
that's
You
why
know?
me getting mine on.
Yeah, it's exactly.
People
It's
are, like,
it's
checking
the
it.
same exact thing.
Yeah.
I think with missiles and with Minot.
Yeah.
So it's kind of funny that you got 3 of us that got
They
the
both came with tails.
double winners. Yeah. But no, I love it. I love this job. I think it really is like a perfect mix of, like, it's cool being in operations and like doing operator things. I say in quotes operator things. Um there's just so much in this job that is so different, I think, than the rest of the Air Force. Um because it feels like we're like almost feels like we're on like our own separate, it's like the Air Force and then missiles almost. Even like now, like you said, you don't even know any missileers except one, right?
Mhm.
So our career field is also like so small, so which is good and bad because you know everyone. I don't know. I've had nothing but great experiences. Like, I love the job. I love the people. The people is really what makes it. Because I mean, look around. We got good people up
Mhm.
here.
Thank
But
you.
yeah, um, I don't know what I was gonna say with that, but no, I like it. Love it.
Did you two Air Force Academy guys, were you there at the same time Paul Skeens was there?
Yes.
Yeah.
Were you really?
Actually, I got an interesting story about Paul Skeens.
Please tell me about Paul
Yeah.
Skeens.
So, I wouldn't say I know him personally or anything like that.
Yeah.
But if he's ever listening,
He'll be listening.
yeah, he's gonna be listening. So I actually during basic for your class, because he's in your class, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I actually worked the assault course. So one of the people that were yelling, like, they were down in Jacks Valley, like
Mhm.
doing their like field training type stuff, and we ran the assault course, and the assault course is essentially like a really hard obstacle course that they're getting yelled at and all this stuff. And I was actually on the water obstacle, so where they had to crawl through the water. And since I dealt with every single basic that went through, I definitely dealt with basic cadet Skeens at one point going through the water obstacle.
Nice.
I was like, that was me.
Heck yeah.
And now look at him doing great things.
You did that.
I did that. You're welcome, Paul.
Yeah, I always ask anyone I
Yeah.
meet that's, especially if they're like ballpark in the same
Yeah.
age.
Yeah.
I always ask, like, did you meet Skeens? And it's always no. He says he like wants to re-enlist or recommission when like after the military. I mean after baseball,
After being a
which
professional
it's
baseball
just
player.
it's not gonna happen because he's probably got a 20-year career on him.
Yeah.
He's pitching until he's 40.
Yeah,
I'm
when
sure.
you're the best pitcher in the league right now.
He's dominating. Yeah. All right. I don't know. I feel like I would go insane. I've been down to the LCC once. Feel like I'd go insane down there. Has being down there. Tell us about the shifts. Tell us about the the turnover on shifts and how long you're down there and what the expectation is in terms of remaining alert down there.
So typically out there, we're down there 24 hours at a time. When we get down there, we'll do a changeover, make sure everything's inventoried, and do all that kind of thing. Follow our checklist. We have a perfectly good changeover checklist, And then that's where the fun begins, right? You get down there. Honestly, at this point, I don't know about you guys, but like, it's home. Like you do feel at home at a certain point when you first get out there. I remember my first time. It is intimidating, but at this point, like I've had, I'm probably coming up on over 200 at least
I think you have to be.
that I've been out there. So
Yeah.
like, that's over 200 of my days that I've been underground.
Mm.
And at this point, like, I don't know, you get down there, you change your clothes, you get into something comfortable, and you're kind of hanging out waiting. We do a lot of preemptive stuff too. Like, don't get me wrong, but a lot of it is reaction based. Like, we're just reacting to the status basically. Um, but I also just am so comfortable being out there at this point. Like, sure, I think it gets a bad rep because I think it also depends on the person, because I think some people absolutely hate it. They hate being out of touch from society for 24 hours at a time. If you can make the most of it, though, I think it's fine. It's fine.
Real quick, for a lot of people,
Sure.
they may not know exactly how the alert schedule works when you're tripped out. So you said you're out there for 24 hours, or you're down there for 24 hours.
Yep.
You're
down
with
there.
two people, right?
Mhm.
Usually one of you guys is got your hands on the wheel and the other
Yep.
one's resting, right?
Yep.
And you take 12-hour shifts.
It
Not
depends.
necessarily. Yeah.
It's all up to the crew. I'll let you
Yeah.
answer.
That's really like we mission plan beforehand, and it's up to the individuals to decide. And a lot of times, like especially if you're new or wave swapping or something, you can be pulling alert with a total stranger, which is like fine. Everyone's like, there's some good quality people, but I saw a little bit about how like commercial airline pilots operate, and it's kind of similar. Like they pull up, and half the time it's a co-pilot they've never met before,
Mm.
and they do a little bit of mission planning too. And they're like, this is what I'm comfortable with. This is how long I'm planning on being at the wheel. We all kind of do similar stuff, though, I'd say.
Yeah.
Like a night shift person traditionally will go to sleep at like 2 p.m. and wake up at, say, 10 p.m., and the other person is awake the opposite times. There's a split shift, which I prefer to do, where just because traditionally, like, the nice person is kind of screwed over on the first day, and they want a nap in the morning. And a lot of night shifts in a row will kind of mess with your brain, I'm not going to lie. But a split shift gives each person the opportunity to keep that schedule topside. So I guess like maybe what you were about to ask is like we're down there for 24 hours at a time, but we're kind of deployed out there for 7 days.
Yep.
Traditionally, meaning that 4 of those days we're doing that 24-hour shift and alternating going back topside. The tough part is trying to keep your sleep shift topside as well, so that you're not like fatigued downstairs when you need to do the job.
Yep.
And that's why I prefer split shifts, because it gives people like a chunk of time that they can commit to when they're topside, rather than like having to do a weird nap in the morning. I don't know how you feel about that, Lieutenant Walker, but
Yeah, the whole night shift thing, it's so funny. I mean, there's so many career fields in the Air Force that do night shifts. There's civilian jobs that do night shifts.
Mm.
I think the tricky thing about Minot, and that was something I was not prepared for, is it's like sunny in the summer till like 11 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
And so you get upstairs from, pulling alert. You do your topside day.
Like, what year is it?
I'm like, okay, so it's 11. Is it 11? Because 11 at night sometimes
don't
looks like
know.
11 a.m.
that's so cute.
No, it's really the your off day is pretty nice. You get time to work out. You get time to, relax. Like, call your wife or your husband or whoever. So it's a good mix. The work-life balance is 50-50,
Mhm.
I would say. So,
Nice.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, that's something that I would have a really hard time with, is that it sounds like it's just such a recipe for disaster for like the circadian rhythm.
Oh yeah.
I like struggle deeply with not getting 8. I need 8 hours. Like I
Yeah.
need 8 hours. I don't know how these people, I know so many people, there's a few in this office that are like, yeah, I just do like 2 a day, and then I wake up and then I do another 2, and then I come to work, and like That's crazy.
That's wild.
So that's like that would be the first thing that like make me tap out is just that like, you know, whatever shift we're pulling, to, you know, getting out of there. It's 11 and like I'm getting sunburned. Like I would just, I think that would really mess with me. So the fact that you guys are able to do that is awesome.
Just a lot of caffeine addicts.
Yeah.
I get my 8 hours and I'm still a caffeine addict. Like, I don't know. I have like the most regular sleep schedule and I'm still sucking down coffee like I'm a Miss Lear. Awesome. Well, has there ever been? I mean, it's some tight quarters down there.
Oh yeah.
I mean, yeah.
And you got to see the bathroom.
I have seen the bathroom.
It wouldn't fit back there.
Yeah,
It
I was
would
gonna
not
say.
fit,
I mean,
yeah.
we're dealing with about the amount of space of this
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
you know this table.
I mean, comfy.
It's cozy. You know, I didn't
These
feel very
people.
cozy down there. Yeah. And then you mentioned something that I've never thought of before, but you could be pulling alert with someone that you've never met before.
Mhm.
I never would have imagined that. I thought for sure it'd be like could only go down there with your best bud. But yeah, I've never considered that's the case. Has that ever like kind of been an issue? Has it ever gone wrong?
I wouldn't say as far as issues.
Hey, wait a minute.
If you're watching,
Talking about me.
no, I mean just like any like random sample of two humans, you're gonna get like some awkward
For sure.
situations. Just and I find it the most awkward when someone's like a little shy or doesn't really like to talk,
Right.
which is fine. Like a week of silence is doable. We can be monks about this, but no, I think the vast majority of time it is super fun to get to know somebody on alert. Like it, I feel like you get to know someone a lot when you live with them, and you basically get to live with somebody for 7 days ish. And I feel like that's why the community is so tight here. And like this is a career field unlike any other that like you're having sleepovers with randos.
Yeah, for sure.
It's a lot of fun sometimes. Sometimes it's awkward and it's like someone you don't totally jive with, but that's very rare for me. Everyone's really nice in our squad for sure.
Yeah.
I will say a positive side of it, of you know, getting paired up with people you've probably never talked to, is you get to learn their interests, which has been really eye opening for me. A guy that I recently was on alert with, he loves soccer, or he calls football, but for a red-blooded Texan,
That's right.
football is football.
Yes,
you
it
know,
is.
and we play on Friday nights. No, I'm kidding. But football, I mean, he loves soccer. He knows everything about it. And something that I'd never thought I'd be interested in. I was kind of like, dang, this is actually kind of cool. Getting you learn different things. But yeah, old Petrie.
Yeah.
Yeah, y'all knew it.
I talk to him on the phone like every day about it.
Yeah.
Lieutenant Petrie.
Yep.
Oh yeah, he's got a giggle on him.
Yeah, he does. He does have that.
He's laughing right now.
Yeah, he is.
I think part of that too that's so interesting about this job, and they both touched on it, but like you get to know someone actually, it feels like so intimately when you're out there because that's the only person you're talking with, right? It can be awkward, like you said, if they're kind of shy or don't really want to talk and you guys are just kind of sitting there. But even if you have someone that even will just answer you, like if you're just asking questions, like every person I go out with, like I know where they're from, like how many kids they have or how many siblings they have, where they graduated from, like their interests. You can just really get to deep dive know people, and it's like when you get back, that was like relationships in the squad and stuff just grow because of it, because you get to know so many people so well, which is a really cool part of the job.
Yeah, I can't think of a situation where that would ever happen in terms of like a context in which you get to know someone.
Yeah,
It's literally just being shoulder to shoulder, trapped in a hole. I mean, I think of those movies that are like, it's like those escape movies when they're like stuck in a, at the like the bottom of the ocean in like a little air pocket in a ship.
just sitting there
like,
looking at each
what
other
we
like
to do. Yeah. That's really cool though. I'm sure. I mean, that's the kind of stuff that like really builds bonds. I'm sure between you guys.
For sure.
So what do you guys do when so you're off time down there? I'm talking about the off time. I know topside you can, it's a playground up there. You guys got an Xbox, a gym, and basketball court. I've been up there. You guys are eating good. You get some sun hopefully if it's lovely June like it is right now.
North Dakotan sun.
Yeah.
So when you are down in the hole and you are taking your little, however you decide to split up your shifts, What do you guys do? Electronics are not an option for the listeners. Obviously, there's no electronics at all. Um, and I hate to be like, oh, no electronics. What do you do? Churn butter or something? Yeah,
Yes.
just knit.
Well,
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Actually,
Tell us about your knitting.
I actually crochet, and it's super offensive that he said knitting. Just kidding. I had the time to crochet my own wedding dress in the capsule. Those 24 hours times however many alerts, like you can really dive into your hobbies like that. I would have never had time to do that if I got PA like I had on my list.
Crochet? Yeah, you're not crocheting.
Oh,
Crochet your own wedding dress.
yeah.
We're gonna pop a picture of that right here.
Yeah.
Jamie pulled it up.
Yeah. How long is that?
It took 110 hours.
Oh my.
I don't. It took like basically a year though, like because I wasn't actively working on it for the longest time, and I did the math. It was like 50 something football fields worth of yarn
Wow.
stretched out.
Oh my god.
It was warm too.
Yeah, and it was a hot day.
But the attention I got is
Oh,
irreplaceable.
it was worth it.
Yeah. A lot of fun though. I mean, like I joke about this, but like I would not have been able to do that
Right.
in any other job. Like,
Seriously.
and I got to like dive back into hobbies like that and reading and like on the electronics thing, we do technically have that monitor that hooks up to a computer top side. I don't know if you got a chance to see that,
I don't think I did.
but we'd have like access to the internet through that. It's a government computer, and we watch a lot of movies down there with that. And yeah, it's
House of Dynamite.
That
Yeah.
was done. Oh, that's right. Yeah.
but that we spend a lot of time doing that. I think it's very funny too. If it's like an awkward silent alert and somebody makes the executive decision to put a movie on, you can kind of still see the reflection in the screen, and you're kind of just both like looking at each other in the glare, like in silence.
Yeah.
I love that experience.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, I was gonna say we have the computer downstairs. Yeah, like connects upstairs, so we can do anything you can do on the internet on a government computer, right?
Right.
I know a lot of people watch Netflix, Amazon Prime, Hulu, all that good
Mhm.
stuff. I know a lot of people that just watch YouTube. I do that. I just usually watch a lot of YouTube down there. The worst times is when that computer isn't working
Mm.
because I've had to do that. And the good thing I brought it out a Sudoku book,
Nice.
but like you can only do so much Sudoku.
Yeah.
They have a deck of cards down there, so I was just like playing solitaire with myself, doing Sudoku, reading. A lot of people read.
Yeah.
There's plenty of time for it when you're down there. Some people bring board games down, which can be fun. We also have a DVD player down there, right?
Yeah.
So if maybe the computer's not working, a lot of people still bring out DVDs and stuff. But
Nice.
Watch whatever movies were
Yeah.
donated to the capsule.
Exactly.
Like all sequels. It's like
I know.
Anchorman 2.
Sequels. Only straight to DVD sequels.
I know one thing that's I guess is really popular is when you're getting your masters.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's like prime time to do that.
Oh yeah.
Especially like on night shift. Things are kind of slowed down a little bit. I mean, you can crank away at a master's. I know a guy that knocked his entire master's out purely on alert in
Wow.
10 months. I
Wow.
was like,
damn.
yeah, isn't that crazy? Yeah.
That's insane. Well, it's awesome, you guys. I mean, those are all pretty constructive. Wedding, getting our masters, Sudoku.
Yeah.
I'm glad you guys are able to blow off some steam down there. Awesome. What's the weirdest thing that's happened down there? I mean, it's so void, like it's such a controlled environment that I can't imagine. I don't know.
Said
You ever just saw like a DAC rat just like popping up something?
Oh.
You guys are underground.
I mean, lots of people have ghost stories.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of ghost stories.
Give us a ghost story.
I'm trying to think. So I've heard because it all depends, right? And a lot of it you could just be sleep deprived.
Yeah.
Who knows what's actually
No,
going
that's
on?
ghosts for sure. Ghosts.
I've actually heard worse stories at like F.E. Warren and Malmstrom
Mm.
from Missler's there than I have up here. But I'll give you one that happened to me, and it's not that crazy. Like you can definitely conceptualize exactly what happened, but like in the moment,
I'm not gonna do that though.
yeah, we're gonna just imagine. So I was sitting down there. It was probably like 4 a.m. and I'm just like hearing these knocks, just like I'm like, what is going on? First of all, At the end of the day, it was probably just some equipment doing some things. But I was hearing some knocking, and it was like I was still early on in my career, so I was like my hair's on the back of my neck. It was like one of my first weeks that I was out there, and I was just like getting nervous. I was like, "What is that?" I started freaking out, looking behind me, all this stuff. So then I call someone. I'm like, "Hey, what do you know about like ghosts down in the capsule? Is that like a thing?" And they're like,
You tracking any ghosts?
"Oh, do you were any ghosts?" And they're like, "Oh yeah, blah blah blah. Sometimes things happen. It's just weird." Okay, hang up, and then right after that, I got a power transfer. So like, I switched over like from commercial to like our backup, and it's a loud noise. Like the lights turn off, and like it's a whole thing. So that freaked me out. Yeah, so I jumped, and
Yeah.
now I'm really freaked out. It got all figured out. It was not a ghost. It was not any issues. But then also I looked up. It's like top 10 most haunted places in North Dakota, and sure enough, it was like number 4 on the list was
the
like
one?
in my area, and I was like, "There's no way."
Oh gosh.
That's just one example. I've
Yeah,
had.
you got these burial grounds like
Yeah.
scattered around. Well, that was actually something I wanted to. You said that was one of your first alerts. That was kind of what I wanted to ask you guys. Is kind of walk me through your first alert. Wait, last question about that. Was your partner, was he like equally as green as you? Was he able to like talk you down, or was he like panicking to the same extent?
No, it was actually Diego. I was having Diego.
What did Diego do?
No, it ended up being because he was actually asleep at the time, so it was just me awake.
Oh, so you just
So-
snoozing.
Yeah, he had no idea any of this was happening. And then when I woke up, he's like, "Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, glad there's no ghosts in here." All right, yeah, you're right. You're right.
Great job keeping those ghosts out.
Yeah, thank you for your service.
Yeah, tell me about your first alert. I feel like I would be so nervous for that. It's that for all that training and then finally go down there for the first time. What was that like?
Yeah, so you've been in our MPTs or our trainers. So the trainer seems a lot bigger
Mm-hmm.
than the actual capsule. It seems it's a lot more clean. It's in our capsule for like soundproofing, we have carpet that like lines like the overhead kind of just enough for the lights to be out and our like emergency lights and things. So you walk down there and you take the elevator down, it takes forever. And you got this huge blast door, and you're like, what in the world? And yeah, I had a good commander, and he was like, all right, man, go open it up. And that thing is heavy. Like, I mean, it's on huge hinges, but you're like yanking.
Massive.
So you get in, and it's like a blast to the past. Like I don't know what I expected, but definitely not that. I mean, I was like, am I in the 60s, bro? Like, what? And you go in there, and I'm changing over with like a very experienced crew. And this is just another day at the ballpark for them, right? And I'm like, oh my gosh, what in the world did I get myself into? And it's a lot louder than you think it is, with all the equipment, all the air running over
The
everything.
elevator.
Yeah, everything is just loud in the capsule. Just you get used to that, but in the moment, I was like, "What did I get myself into?" But that was my first experience in a real capsule.
Yeah, it's pretty scary. It was for me the concept of taking custody of like nuclear weapons when you pull alert, and the idea that like when you're brand new, your commander goes to sleep at some point, and then you're the guy in charge of the capsule. So I was super anxious going into my first alert. I was scared that I was going to like commit some huge mistake that the president was going to come down and fire me about. But everyone who's pulled alert, in my experience, remembers what it's like, how scary it is to accept those nuclear weapons the first day, and they're so understanding and willing to help about it. You just end up making 1 million phone calls that first alert. You're like, did I break something?
Yeah.
Is this supposed to be happening? Because like things in the field are a bit more broken than you'd expect them to be, like, or just jank at least, not necessarily broken. So you never know, like, is this something I'm supposed to be worried about? You develop that feel for after maybe like I'd say 5 months is when I started relaxing on alert. I was pretty scared.
Be very old for much longer with the Sentinel remodernization program.
Oh,
Yeah, that's what they keep
Yeah.
telling us.
next year.
I think they told the Misslers that did this podcast 10 years ago. No, it's the exact same thing. Like your first time you're going down there, you're just like, oh my gosh. First of all, did I bring everything out that I like need to? Because you don't really know they kind of say, hey, you need to bring these kinds of things out, like for example, towels or extra clothes for what have you. But then you don't even realize, like, one of the weirdest things that happened to me was like the first alert we tripped out, and they're like, hey, what do you want for lunch? I'm like, I don't know. Is there a menu? You guys have a menu or anything? So I just ended up getting the same thing that he got because I just didn't know
Yeah.
what else there was. But yeah, when you get down there, it's like you said, it's just old technology and it's just intimidating. But also the point that I wanted to drive home was usually you're out there, it's you and your commander, sure, but you got a whole squadron of people that you can call and talk to. So a lot of times, like if you have any questions at all, everyone, at least early on and still now, like is very helpful and just wants to help out. Like no one's looking to see you fail. So if you have any questions or anything, it was pretty easy to ask and get by. And even like after my commander went to sleep, and now that I'm a commander and like have a deputy that when I go to sleep, I'm like, hey, if you need anything, just wake me up. Like it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
It's better that we talk about this and like have no issues then I wake up and in 8 hours and we're
And
on
there's
fire.
war crimes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So everyone's super helpful and everyone wants to help you out, especially if it is your first alert. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, it seems like an awesome culture that you have cultivated amongst yourselves, both in the Minot Missileer culture and just the greater Missileer culture in general. So where are you guys at with, you guys have like a varied levels of tenure here. Where's your head at right now in terms of looking forward into the future and where you want your career to go?
Yeah, so I guess like especially early on, we have a pretty scheduled um upgrade process, I would say. And so you start out and you're just like your standard launch control center missileer. Um and then somewhere about, I mean, what is it? 8 months to a year, somewhere in there. This, essentially whenever you feel ready, you can upgrade to become like a squadron command post deputy, where you'll start pulling alert with a squadron command post commander. And from that, like that's where I'm at now. I just recently upgraded to that, and so in 6 months, I'll be looking to upgrade to be a crew commander, which I will then have a responsibility of a new deputy that's coming in, or someone that just hasn't upgraded yet. But that's where I'm at. I know y'all are further along in that process, so y'all could pick up, I guess, kind of where I left off.
Yeah, I just became an instructor last month, and I still pull alert just like everybody else. Like pulling alert is most of our primary duty, I would say, and the we have all these additional duties on base, these kind of like office type things that are just like supporting the mission as well. But since training is such a huge part of our structure, like we have a shop full of instructors that it's like not a guarantee that everybody becomes an instructor, but it is kind of the expected path beyond SCP commander, like you were saying. And Coop, I know you've been.
Yeah, I've been instructing now probably for 4 or 5 months, something like that. I also just took baby leave for like a little while between
Oh,
that.
nice. Congratulations.
2 months old. Yeah, thank you,
Nice.
thank you. But like after you do SCP command, a lot of times, like she said, you'll become an instructor, um, or some people don't. Also, that happens, but typically after you become an instructor, you'll do instructor things. So you're creating rides like scenarios and stuff for new missileers or even old missileers. Um, Meeting standards for like proficiency or like currency items, things to see you need to see in training, things like that. And then typically after your instructor time, you'll go work in one of the support squadrons, and that helps out one of the attack squadrons, like us here in the 41st. Um, then after that, it's like it, after your those years, like the whole career field just seems to explode open. Like people do a lot more after that, but typically your typical 13N will start and do those first like 3 years pretty similar. The first 3.
And that's what I really appreciate about the Air Force is how many options that you can have as you progress through your career. It's not like, I have a certain position here as a first term airman, senior airman in PA. My 20-year, I'm not doing 20, I'm getting out of here. But if I were to do 20, it wouldn't be in this environment. Like I can do so many different things. I can go to a audio visual squadron. I can become an instructor. I can go combat camp. I can do this. I can do that. So I'm glad that you guys. It's no surprise to me that you guys have like a similar options. So yeah, well, whatever you guys choose to do, I'm sure you'll be successful at it. I think you guys are some of the smartest people in the force. I can absolutely, like I said, I would just fall straight on my face. That's for sure. I can't thank you enough for joining us and giving us all a little inside look at the capsule. The closest thing we'll ever get to the inside of a capsule, I guess. Unless you're cool like me and you go down there. All right, guys. Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Reed, thanks for having us.
Yeah.